Hello, my name is Chris Klinakis. I'm the offense coordinator and offensive line coach here at the University of Nevada. Today, today's DVD, we're going to present our hip progression that we teach at Nevada. This is a very physical hip progression, as we still use a lot of elements of the Crowther progression. This is married to our pistol offense of being a physical run game. The reason we have gone to the pistol offense is to get the benefits of the shotgun, keeping the quarterback at shotgun depth for the passing game, but still keeping a north-south running game. We will diagram and go through all four phases of our hip progression and how we are able to keep a physical attitude in the pistol offense. What we'll talk about now is our offensive line hip progression. This is the hip progression we use here at the University of Nevada. We teach it in four phases. We'll take you through each phase with the drills that we use to teach this hip progression and then apply it to game situations. I just want to show you what a great example, this is, to me, would be the perfect hip progression right here. Is watching this left guard right there. This involves all four phases of our hip progression that we teach here at Nevada. What we see here is what we call our 6 to 4 point punch, which is our blow delivery. You see we block with forearms, getting our second step in the crotch, which will bring our hip snap and roll. Third step, our base to finish right there. That right there, guys, one of my former players, if I could have it look like this is what the perfect hip progression. Now we will go through the four steps that we use to get to those and the drills that follow with them. There are four segments, as we talked about. All our offensive players at Nevada are taught to use this hip progression to maintain uniformity in teaching and carry over to all positions. So in the pistol offense, as we spoke earlier, we still want to be a very physical offense. That is why we went to the pistol offense in 2005, is we wanted to have the advantages of the shotgun, of having our quarterback back at shotgun depth for our passing game, but we did not want to lose our physical downhill mentality. And you'll see how we teach our hip progression here at Nevada, how it correlates with the pistol and how we are still able to be physical, whether we're running zone or our counter gap or horn or any of our other run schemes. Because we teach our hip progression very physically. First thing we teach is we call it a 6-point punch. It's actually a 4-point punch, as we will remove it when we get to the drill, the two hands off the ground. Second thing we teach, and the most important thing, is how to get the second step in on the strike. This will bring the blocker to base, will keep his hips under him, and enable him to roll those hips. Third is how we put the first two steps together. Coming out of our stance, step with a power or a zone step, able to roll that weight over and transfer it, strike. And then our last is how we teach the finish. Those are our four segments of hip progression. Once again, this is a very physical progression. We're going to come off and we're going to create movement. We're going to shock people with it. The 6-point punch, as I said earlier, it's actually a 4-point punch. The 6 points, as we know, are the balls of the feet, both knees, and then both hands down. We then allow him to get the hands up. The reason we start him in a 6-point is to make sure they coil those feet underneath them, get the knees on the ground. They are going to be approximately an arm's length in front of the 6-man sled. I write that, you say arm's length, but it's approximately, it's a little bit shorter than an arm's length. On the command strike, the blocker extends into the forearm on the sled, making contact with the forearm. Once again, we are going to strike with the forearm. Our aiming point when we hit a man is to hit him in the solar plexus or hit him in the stomach and roll that forearm up. That forearm, and we will see when this drill is done, is a pendulum swing that keeps the shoulder square. We do not want to swing out of out of the radius of the body and turn the shoulders. It is a pendulum swing. His offhand must be up, and we teach him to uppercut the offhand to the defender's pec. So we're going to go right for that chest area, right underneath the shoulder pad, so we can drive it up. But we want to, and we'll get a hold of something there when we drive to the pec. The back should be arched slightly upon contact, and then we will roll the hips. So what we're training the body to do here, and this is all muscle memory. This is why we do these 4 phases, and we either do all 4 phases every day, or we do parts of this hip progression every day. But there's not a day goes by that we are not doing at least a part of this hip progression. We are training muscle memory, and right here what we are really establishing is how to throw that forearm, how to roll that forearm through, how to bring that off arm to the pec, and how to roll those hips when contact's made. Okay, and if it's done correctly, the blocker's stomach should hit the ground first as the sled is knocked backwards. So here's an example right there. Okay, we're in our 4-point position. We've taken the hands out of the 6-point. Arms are cocked, eyes are up. On the command strike, they will strike with the forearm right there. Now the key, the knees must remain on the ground for them to learn to unlock their hips. If they push off those toes and the knees come up, their heads are down, they are overextended, they are lunging. Very nice look at the hip roll right there. They're going to extend through and hit on their bellies. Once again, they're approximately arm's length away, striking again. Striking right to where it would be the midsection defender and rolling up. So we're teaching this forearm right here and how to deliver a blow, how to keep our shoulders square. Very good look right there. Next group, a little bit younger group. Okay, we're going to see some how not tos. This is the first day of practice. Okay, that's what we don't want right there. If those knees are up right there, that is incorrect. He is pushing off his toes. Okay, there's no way he can snap his hips and surge through. He will fall off the block. This right here, we're not teaching him to roll his hips. What we're teaching there is he's going to get overextended. That's not what we're teaching. That's what we do not want right there. Just wanted to give you that example. Okay, third group up again here. Okay, off hands going to the pec when we strike. Forearm right there. Unlock those hips. Extend right there. Okay, so again, we're going to want to stay square. So we're watching from behind to make sure the shoulders are square. And we will look at this from the back view here in a second. We do not want the shoulders turned. If we have the proper pendulum swing and the offhand going to the pec, we will keep these shoulders square. There's the back view right there. Square shoulders, nice extension by 50 here. Look at that extension. That big guy there, 6'6", able to extend and roll those hips. But we see everybody with the slight arch in the back. They're able to extend through, cock, they're staying square. The offhand is going to the pec. The forearm is rolling through. Real good look at how we teach the 4-point punch. That's how we're going to deliver a blow. You watch University of Nevada play. We are delivering a forearm, and we're rolling those hips, and we're snapping with it. Once again, this marries the philosophy of the pistol offense, of being a physical offense, and that is the whole premise and basis why the pistol was created. Once again, to get the quarterback at shotgun depth and get the advantages of the shotgun in the pass game, but not to sacrifice the downhill run and the physicality of being under center. We are extremely happy with what the pistol gives us, that it gives us the ability to run downhill and still have the availability to be the quarterback at shotgun depth. First day in pads, once again, want to show that rotation right there. There's the drill. Well, we're a lot better. We're about 4 days into practice now. We're doing this a heck of a lot better. We're rolling, okay? Good extension by that group right there. Once again, looking from the back view, watch the right hand right there, shooting to the pec. Very good look right there of going to the pec. Same thing, driving to the pec. Good. Okay, get some game examples. Now we get to watch the delivery actually in a game. We'll watch this left tackle right here. We'll watch this from both views. Left tackle up there, and we'll get to see the 4-point punch right there as he unloads it. Nice blow delivery right there. He's able to unload. Boom, his hip snapped through right there. We'll look at it again. Right here. Watch the delivery. What we're showing you is the forearm and the hip roll that we have taught on that sled of how to deliver a blow. Comes up in space. Boom. Okay, he is cocked. He is loaded. He is delivered right there with it. Very nice look. Okay, we'll get another look. We will watch the quick tackle here. There's this 4-point punch. There's a blow delivery on the sled. There's the forearm right there. That's an explosive move. That is snapping his hips. That is what he's done on that sled every day. He's come out of those shoes. He's rolled those hips with that forearm delivery right there. We'll run that back to, again, show how it is applied to the field. It's a physical play, and that's why we still teach our hip progression the way we do, because we do not want to lose our physicality. And once again, I'm going to drive this point home. That's why we've created the pistol offense, so we could still run downhill and be physical and not lose that mentality. We'll watch the center here. We'll actually get to see it better. Well, we'll see it pretty good from the side view. There's that blow delivery right there. There's the snap of the forearms. Watch the hips roll right there. There's the blow delivery. There's the forearm being delivered right there. Nice blow delivery. We'll go to the end zone where we can watch him again. There's the snap right there. Just watch the defender. Boom. Watch the hips get under him. Okay, I know I'm giving you some sound effects. I get pretty fired up when we get a good blow delivery right like that. Okay, but that's from the 4-point punch drill. Very nice look. We'll watch the center again with the blow delivery. Come up. Okay, and actually we'll get to see it a little bit better from the end zone view. We'll get to see that 4-point punch and that blow delivery. Watch them right here. Gathers. Whoa, there's the snap right there. There's that hip snap we saw on the sled. There's the delivery and the roll right there. Boom. Okay, just what we saw on the sled. That is great case in point right there. The second phase of our hip progression is the second step punch. This is the most important phase of the hip progression. What we are teaching the blocker here is how to deliver the blow and still keep his base, or as I like to say, he's able to come to balance. By doing this, the strike foot is the same foot, it matches the forearm, so if I'm delivering the right forearm, my right foot is the strike foot. And that's the one that has to come to the defender's crotch when the forearm's delivered. This is a 6-inch step. Okay, if we overstride, if we take bigger than a 6-inch step, we will land on our heel. And we will overstride, we'll have no base, and we'll be on one leg with our weight backwards. If I strike before I land, after I strike, if I do not get the second step in the ground, so if I strike before that second step lands, I'm playing on one leg. If I don't take this power step, as we call it, because the reason we call it a power step is it produces the hip snap. When the forearm hits and this foot is in position in the defender's crotch, this will snap the hips. Okay, and this gets the hips underneath you. How we teach it, 2-point stance on the sled. The lead foot is already in position, so I've already taken my first step. Okay, most instances we've already taken a zone step. That is 80% of our run game in the pistol is zone. Okay, all weight will be on the lead foot, arms will be cocked, and we say hands on your guns, and we're got the hammer back. On the command strike, I'll drive the forearm up and through the 6-man sled, just like I did in the 4-point punch drill. When striking, though, I will push off the lead foot and take a 6-inch power step. Same arm, same leg to the center of the sled pad. That is what we call the defender's crotch, which is our aiming point. The power step must land at the same time as the forearm strike. If not, we talked about the 3 instances and the 3 things that could happen if it not. So we will start this drill. There's the fit right there. So we have fitted up. We've already stepped with our left foot. So all our weight's on our left. We're going to strike right forearm, right foot. Now you'll see us being very critical of where their toes are at. We want those toes downfield. We want those hips down. Because when we step, guys, we want the toes north-south so the shoulders stay north-south. We say that the toes control the body. If your toes are out, your shoulders are out, and you can't stay square. As we said earlier, 80% of our run game in the pistol is based on zone, inside zone blocking. On the command to strike, they'll step. Well, watch this young man right here. That's a 6-inch power step. Very nice. Okay, and we're giving that command pretty fast. Okay, I like to get on the ground there, and I like to watch where that step lands. Okay, once again, coaches are correcting the back foot, but you watch that 6-inch power step. It's very nice. It's landing right where it should, and that's keeping the hips under him, so when we go to our finish later, he'll be able to snap those hips. Okay, power position right there. Same group. Oh, there's a good example of an overstride. Too far. Too far right there, guys. He's on his heel. Coach, if your guys are striding that far, he's on his heel. He will not be able to unlock his hips and roll, and his weight will be back there. We want to shorten that step. We got to watch. There it is. That was a nice short step by that young man right there. So shorten it up right there. Get those hips underneath them right there. The second step strike. We overemphasize, this is taught some phase every day how to strike and get that second step in there. Okay, here it is from the back view. So that second step is going to the defender's crotch. Getting those toes upfield, so we're stepping vertical. Very nice. Very nice right there. Because that's where the power is produced. When the second step gets in with the forearm, the hips are in position to snap and unlock, and that's where the power is produced. As we all know, there's more power in the lower half than the upper half, but we got to be able to transfer the weight from the lower half to the upper half, and that's done through the core of the body. If that second step is not in that power position, that weight does not transfer from the lower body to the upper body. Very nice step. Oops, right here. Let's watch this young man right here at the end. I mean, I'm not even paying any attention to him. He's a veteran. With that foot right there at 6 inches, landed on the ball of the foot. Very good drill right there. Next drill we like to go to is now we're doing the exact same thing in space. So we will run a zone track, keeping our base up. Same thing now, when we get up in space, our outside foot, so if I'm striking left forearm, my right foot will step on the defender's toe, and then my left forearm and left foot will come to the crotch just like they did on the sled. And it's a 6-inch step right there, getting that foot in the ground, okay, to produce the hips underneath me. That's a good track right there on that. We'll watch this group right here. Good demonstrator right here, 73. Okay, hips are underneath them. Second step goes to the crotch. That gives us our base right there. Another good example right there. Okay, second step is there with the forearm. Now I've got base. I'm able to unlock the hips and finish. So this is our in space, but it's the same second step strike that we were teaching on the sled earlier. Once more, back view again. Getting that second step in the ground. Okay, a lot better. So we are just muscle memory, guys. We are training that foot to come with that forearm and get into a power position to where I got my hips underneath me, feet underneath my armpits, no wider. That is our base position. Feet underneath the armpits, which is a power position. I'll let you see the same drill again. Up to space. Second step in the crotch right there. First step is on the toes. Okay, and we tell our guys aiming point when blocking in space is put your face in the defender's number. That's where we want that face mask with the eyes up in the number. If you're hitting any higher than that, okay, you're going to overshoot them and overextend. We want it in the number. Once again, the forearms to the solar plexus and the hips snap up through it. Look at a couple examples. Very nice right there. Getting the second step in. Okay, very nice right there. Okay. We'll show you right there. Same group. Second step, right in the crotch, keeping a good base and able to roll the hips. Now the hips are able to unlock right there. Another good demonstration right there. Want to get that base? That base widens right at the end there. He's able to drive that second step in the crotch. Okay, what happens here when we don't get the second step in the ground? There's your case in point right there. Second step doesn't get in the ground, the leg's up, the blocker is overextended right there. The second step is not in the ground, he's overextended. Okay, in all reality, he's going to fall off that block. Okay, the second step has got to get in the ground. We'll watch 73 here, the right tackle, pull out. Okay, same drill. Watch him get his second step in the ground right there with the blow delivery. There's that hip snap right there. He steps on the toes, but the second step's in the ground, so he's able to unload the hips right there. Once again, we'll get a look from the back view, but we're able to see how it is brought through with the second step in the ground. Comes around, boom. Watch that left foot. It's there, right as the forearm is. Now the hips are underneath him. He's in a power position, and he's able to roll his hips. He is able to unload with that forearm, okay, into a power position, and those hips are unlocked, and there produces the block right there. We'll look at right over here. We're going to look at this left tackle. We'll get a good view from the end zone, but we'll get to see that second step come into the crotch right there and produce the hips. Watch the second step. Watch the right foot hit with the forearm. I'm going to freeze it right there. That forearm's hitting, that foot's in the ground. And now my hips can unroll. They can unravel, and there the power's produced. It is transferred from the lower body to the upper body and able to produce a good block right there. So again, the second step is in the ground right as that forearm hits. The hips are unrolled, they're underneath him, and able to produce the block. We'll watch the center again. We watched the center a few times already. He had a dynamite punch. The reason is he gets his second step in the ground. We'll look at it right here. Watch the second step in the ground. That right foot, he's going right for him. Right foot, he gets in the ground And that's where the blow delivery comes from right there. He's able to deliver, once again, unravel those hips. That's that in-space drill we were just watching a little bit ago. Okay, in-space drill again, right tackle here. Coming up, there's the blow delivery. We'll get to see this from the end zone, get a nice look at it with the second step in the ground again. Watch it from behind here, square, boom, that's the drill we just watched, coaches, right there, coming up square, there's the hips, right forearm, right foot's in the ground, he's coming up square, stepping on the toes, getting that face right in the number there, nice extension. A good looking blow delivery. Third phase now is the step strike. So now we've got to teach the blocker how to take a step and then deliver the blow with the power step. So some people call this a rollover step. We teach it with a zone step. As we said earlier, 80% of the pistol offense is zone blocking up front. The blocker will assume a 2-point stance with the exception of the O-line. We'll be in a 3-point stance, arm's length away from the sled. So our receivers learn this hip progression, our running backs, everybody. We even make our quarterbacks do it, okay? So in case they ever have to block. Everybody learns our hip progression. So the skill is in the 2-point, the O-line's in the 3. On the command step, the skill will take a lead step or a rollover step to a position of stepping on the defender's toes. The offensive line will take a zone step out of their 3-point stance on the command of step. So we're double teaching here. We're getting our zone step re-emphasized. On the command strike, they will execute the strike of the forearm or bring the power step to the center of the sled. So they're repeating the second step strike drill, learning how to get their second step in a power step to the crotch, the nice 6-inch step, producing the power-producing angles with the hips underneath them. But what we're training them to do now is how to do it with a first step. This teaches them how to gather in space before striking the blow or at the O-line, his 2-step zone progression. We call this a step strike drill. We'll show you what it looks like right here. So now, command of step, boom. They all stepped, they've all taken their zone step. To the right, the arms are cocked. So that is, now we're just repeating the strike drill. Okay, the transfer, the weight's on the lead foot, eyes are up. Now second step comes the blow delivery and the 6-inch step. So the strike drill that we just taught, or the second step strike drill, when we take this zone step, we are in that position. Now we're re-emphasizing it. I let them finish just a little bit on this one because I don't want them to get in the habit of just striking and stopping their hips, of taking 2 steps. What we're trying to do again is train muscle memory and get momentum going forward. I feel if you just take the 2 steps and stop, they're not going to learn to unlock those hips right there and bring the feet with the hips. But there's a good look of the step strike drill right there. All in unison. Step strike. We'll do it again. Okay, well then it's not 1 rep and done, guys. Okay. We got to, once again, we're training. That second step's a little bit late. Not bad. I like to see it up a few more inches. But hips unrolling are really nice on that. So once again, we give them the command step and strike. The older they are, the quicker it is. Step, strike. Step, strike. The younger, step, strike. Because I want to see how that first step's landing. I want to make sure I'm seeing them transfer the weight. This is an older group here. We're doing this one pretty quick. We'll look at it from another angle. This very nice footwork by this young man on his step strike. You see the zone step right there? Look at that toe. It's right down the field. So coach, that's why we want those toes vertical, because it keeps the shoulders vertical. Now the strike, the forearm is hitting. Look at the second step in there right there. He's on the balls of his feet, 6-inch step. Now he's in a power-producing position. Feet are underneath the armpits. He can now push off and snap his hips to bring his feet. He can bring those power-producing steps right there. If that step would overstrided, he'd be on his heel, Wade'd be backward on one leg. If that step didn't get in the ground, he would be on one leg, fall off. If he didn't step, he would overextend. But getting this in the ground, so we are now training muscle memory to put both steps in at the same time. Very nice right there. Look at it again. Step strike drill. Same thing. Get the 6-inch step. There's your 6-inch. There's your second step right there. Everything's north-south. That foot's in there right when that forearm is hitting. Right there. Great case in point of getting it in there. Coming off in unison, getting those steps in the ground. So we're just working those first two steps. Take one more look from this angle. Step strike. Once again, we'll watch his step. 6-inch, toes vertical, strike. Second step is in the ground with the forearm. Everybody's cocking. There's our 4-point punch drill. Now we're rolling the hips. There's everything we've taught right there. Getting them to come off together, roll the hips, and we'll go to the finish, which is the fourth segment later. Just looking at it from the back view. Step strike. Getting that second step in the ground. We want those toes vertical, step into the crotch. Very good right there. In unison. Okay, I don't like his toe right there. He's toeing out a little bit on me. We want to get that more north-south. Good sequence right there. Okay, other than left tight end, we're dragging. See that second step, stay in the ground. Coach, we want to bring that, we got to get that weight to the first step, the left foot. Now he should be pushing off that to the crotch there. Great case in point right here watching this young man here. Transfer the weight, boom. Second step's in, power producing steps. Okay, we're not taking a second step here. We watch 74 here. Okay, he's going to be overextended. That foot comes late. He's already struck the forearm and then he steps. He's a fraction behind, but his hips are not going to be in a power producing position. He's not going to be able to get the roll. Don't like this second step. This is a younger group of players here. He is landing, you can see right there, on his heel. He's not going to be able to snap his hips as well as landing on the ball of the foot. So showing you some do's and don'ts right there. One of my favorite drills to emphasize the step strike is we like to put our lineman in the back of the chutes. Put a D lineman over him. Real base drill. We'll either tell them to go right or left. So it's either a right-left or a left-right. And getting their first two, their step strike drill. And they got to knock the defender out of the chutes. You watch this young man right here. He gets his second step in the ground. And now he's able to produce the power to drive the defender out. That's a very nice example. Watch those first two steps. Step strike. There they are, right in the ground. Now the hips are underneath them and bring them to the finish phase. We watch the young man right over here. Okay? Doesn't really take a first step. Definitely doesn't take a second step. What we're talking about, he's overextended. He's not able to get his hips underneath him. His hips are behind him right there. And we cannot roll the hips, which we've taught on the 4-point punch. We're not unlocking the hips and getting that snap to finish. Very nice by this young man right there. Step strike. Okay, watch an example right there. Watch that second step get in the ground. So we're delivering left forearm, so he's stepping right, left. Watch the two steps. Boom. Now look at it. He's right back to base. His feet are underneath his armpits. His hips are in line right there. He's able to unroll and snap them and push off his foot to do this. Once again, if that foot wasn't in the ground there, he would not be able to snap those hips and unroll right there. Okay? Young man right here doesn't get his second step in the ground. His hips are behind, causing him to play high, okay, and he's not able to get the roll. So once again, very nice look by the young man right there. Same drill now, we just call this base and reach, teaching the same thing. We'll either zone left or zone right, getting those first two steps in the ground. This is nice by 74. We had just watched him on the sled earlier not get the second step in. Look at him get it in there. Keeps a very nice base. Case in point, here we don't get a second step. That second step don't go anywhere. Our hips are behind us. We're overextended. We fall. Third case in point, we drag the second step. It doesn't get in the ground, therefore we do not have a base. Okay, we're not bringing our hips, we're going to fall off that block as well. So we see three different examples where the second step gets in, where the second step don't move and we overextend, and when the second step drags. We'll watch those one more time. There it is right there. Look at those two steps getting the ground. Step strike. Oh, you see the head snap of the defender with the forearm? The hips are under him. The base is under him. That's very, very, very nice right there by that tackle. There's your step strike, getting him in the ground though. We'll look at the same young man again. This is a good demonstrator, guys. Young man I had the pleasure to coach who plays in the National Football League now. But look at that second step come in, and the hip snap with it. Step, strike. Second step is in the ground, okay? And he's able to roll the hips. Now he's got power right there. Falls off it late, but block's been accomplished. And look at the forearm cock right there. Boom, he steps, he cocks. As he throws that forearm, that second step comes in. And that's that step strike drill, same drill you've seen a million times on the sled. Let's watch the offensive center here. Okay, here's the step strike drill, and you'll really appreciate it when you see it from the rear view. How the second step gets in the ground, his feet never stop. And that's the key of getting the second step in the ground. You're able to unlock the hips, okay, and keep those feet going. So we step, strike, boom. Look at the hips roll there. So, Coach, that gives you an example of how the hips are going to surge, but that's all taught through the 4-point, the second step drill, and now the step strike, where we put it all together and those hips stay in motion. Okay, step strike right there, running off that football. Watch the left tackle here. Okay, same thing. Let's watch his step strike. Getting that second step in the ground. There's his hip. Watch his hips roll because the second step is there with the forearm. They hit at the same time. Now he's able to roll his hips and produce movement. He's right into the finish phase, which will be the next phase we will talk about through that step strike. Right there, the rolling of the hips. Same tackle. Watch him again. Step, strike. You see the power that's produced when the second step lands at the same time as the forearm. We produce the power right there to deliver a heck of a blow. Plus it keeps the feet running. We'll watch the center from this angle. This is a great, great angle to show that second step getting in. Watch him right there. Okay? It makes the hip snap and produces the movement. Step, strike, second step in. Anytime you see the hips, or watch the hips, you can tell the hips are rolling right there. See them coming underneath. If you watch that right foot closely right there, that center, it is landing right when that forearm's coming in there. And that forearm's his snapping hand. He's able to snap, bring that forearm up, Second step hits at the same time, producing the movement needed. That's a nice example of the step strike drill. Last phase is the finish phase. Okay? So we will assume a perfect fit position on the 2 or the 6-man sled. The perfect fit position will already simulate the blocker already taking the first 2 steps and deliver the blow. So it's been step and it's been strike. So the second step is landed with the forearm and we're in a power producing position. Feet are not underneath the armpits. Okay, we've come back to base, which we've already taught. Now what we are really emphasizing here for these young men is unlocking the hips. Okay, rolling those hips so they get that feel of that power producing position with their tail end low and legs bent. So they got to be down on that. Okay, on the command hike, they will snap their knees and they will shoot the hips through and drive the sled with the base. As we said, feet under the armpits, power producing steps. And what we say is we say cut the grass. We don't want to plod. We want those balls, those feet in the ground. We want it low and fast, cut the grass. On the command move it, the blocker will seat roll off the sled and finish with a 5-yard sprint. Do not believe on finishing any of your finish drills where either you come out of a stance and truly drive the sled, or this finish where the offensive lineman just turns around and stops. You have got to train those young men on only to finish a block, but if you fall off a block, they get up off the ground. I've got many cases where our blockers, we've fallen off blocks before. They don't stay on the ground. We seat roll up and we're on to another block. So this is taught through our finish drill. So there it is right there. So we've already taken our first 2 steps, simulated. Now we're unlocking the hips. So there's the finish right there. So everyone, we've already stepped our zone to the left, thrown the right forearm, the left hand's on the pec. We've already taken a left foot, right foot to the crotch, so now we're in a power producing position. We will roll the hips, cut the grass, keeping that base. Okay, cut the grass, little steps. We don't want to plod, men. And then we seat roll and we're up to the next block. Look at it again. See the hip snap right there? Power producing steps. And seat roll up to the next block. Now, brand new player here, okay, has not trained his hips. He's stepping back to gain power. He's not in a power producing position. So what he's learning there is he's trying to regather himself instead of just unlocking his hips. Okay? Same with this young man right here. They're brand new guys right here. So what we're training the body to do is when that second step gets in, those hips unlock and they roll. And we'll seat roll out right there. Here's a nice view right here. Look at the hip surge. That's all we're training there. We've already taught the blow. We've already taught how to step to the blow. Now we're training the feet to come with the hips. So when we unload those hips and we roll those hips, that those feet are going to follow those hips because we're in a perfect power position because of our first step. We got the weight transferred because our second step was there when the blow was delivered. Now we're training the feet to finish in that power position. Nice finish and the seat roll off. Once again, finding another block. Helping our new young man out right here. Okay, just we're training him. He had never done this before. We're training his body. Okay, it's all muscle memory. We're training him right there just to roll those hips. Okay, without having to step back to get used to transferring weight. Don't like that right there. Too far forward. Okay, same thing. Now it's done on a 2-man sled. So now you've got to keep a great base. When there's only 2 of you working, if your base is not good and not square, this thing will spin. Second thing is we add a double reaction. We're going to train to seat roll off it. Now we're doing the in-space drill, which we taught with the strike phase of the hip progression, the second phase, to get the strike with the second step. So we're double dipping right here. There's the hips, base, 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 up, strike. Second step in the ground, strike. Second step in the ground. Now we're going to finish again. We're going to re-emphasize and we're going to finish it again with that position, with that base. Base, 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 base. Seat roll, up. Second step strike, second step strike. Now to finish. Unfortunately, we got cut off right there. Here we go. Base, base, base. Second step, strike. Boom, we're way behind. We're getting sloppy. That one's sloppy right there. I like this one. Love his finish. He's keeping his base, cutting the grass. Same thing right here. These are two newbies right here. Okay, two brand new players. You can see he's still trying to uncoil his hips right there. When he does, base, want those toes, but he's getting overextended there. He's got to train those feet to catch up. After we roll, we got to keep those hips underneath us. Second step, and a delivery. Too high on the in space. Once again, we want the face and the number. We talked about that. Good base by these two. Okay, second step. Good. I like that. They're unrolling those hips. Now it's same thing. It's finish drill again. Base, base, base to finish. We're just re-emphasizing the same habits over and over and over. Hips, base, come up, second step, in space. Now there it is. There's all four phases put together, the hip progression with the finish. Base, base, finish, up. Good blow delivery. The second step's behind. You could tell right there how he's overextended. This right here, nice second step off the finish. Comes up, second step's in. Now he's back in power position and the base to the finish right there. Get you a good view here. Base, power producing steps, up. Now train him to re-dip. Find it again. Second step in the ground right there. Base to finish. Now we'll see it in the chute. Watch this young man. There's his base right there on this finish. Let's watch him again. His first two steps are in the ground real nice. Step, strike. There it is. Left, right. It's in the ground. Okay, now the hip's going to roll. So there's the finish drill. We went step, strike, forearms delivered. There's your perfect fit. Watch his hips unroll right here. See the hips snap right? I'm going to freeze it again. Okay. Second step's in the ground. There's your finish drill. Through muscle memory, this reaction's already been trained. These hips will unroll, cut the grass, take them out. I want to show that one more time. This is a very nice example of how train here. Left, right, hips are in, and there's the base to finish. Okay, nice example right here. Okay, let's watch the left tackle. Let's watch his finish right here. Okay, it's a drill we just worked. Base, 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 finish. 5 yards down the field, keeping that same base. Stepping over, base, snapping the hips, and finish. Look at it from the other view. Here's where the finish drill's coming into effect. There it is. There's the hip roll. Now we're going to cut the grass. Base, stay on it. We say stick and stay. We're going to stay all the way to the end of that block, keeping our base. We'll look at this from the end zone. We'll watch the left guard here. Okay? Watch the finish on this one right here. This is a nice finish by this young man. Base, base, base. There's your finish drill right there. Driving him out. Second step's in. We've already went through all phases of the hip progression. Now he's on it. The hips have snapped right there. Keeps base. Good finish drill right there. Okay, we'll watch the center here. Super finish. We'll get on the end zone. We can really see his finish. Watch his hips unwrap right here as he gets over. There it is. Watch the hips though. There's the power position we've just had on the sled. Step strike. So both feet are in the ground. Now watch the hips roll. The hips roll, the feet follow right there. It's all trained. You watch any of these young men here, none of their feet ever stop. Okay? That's all been trained through these finish drills and the hip progression. And keep those feet rolling. Hips, 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 guys. Everything we do overemphasizes those hips. Okay, we're going to watch the left guard on this one. He's going to come ricochet up to this backer, hits, but now the hips snap again as he hits, and he gets in that perfect fit position. We've trained. Now he rolls the hips, keeps that base to get that finish right there. Second step, drive, and the finish. Left tackle. We'll watch it from this view. Watch the finish right there, how he stays on that the whole way. He's got his base, he's got his fit, and there's his finish right there. That's good surge. Looking from the end zone, coming right there. Hips are through. Now the hips roll, gets the base back out, and the finish on that one. Same tackle. We're going to watch him in space. So what we trained off the seat roll there, when you get to the second level, okay, and when you watch it from the end zone, you'll see after his forearm strikes, his hips roll, okay, through the muscle memory of the training of doing the drill. And he goes to base, chops the grass with his feet. Let's watch it right here. This is a very good case in point. There, watch the hips roll right there. There's the acceleration right there. And once we have unrolled those hips, once we have snapped the hips, okay, and we say we've got to accelerate those feet. We got to cut the grass and accelerate those feet there once we hit that right there. And that's trained on our finish drill right there. This is a classic example. I'm going to rewind it again. Classic example. Boom, you can see those feet accelerate. Okay, we'll get a last look. Looking in space right there. Stick and stay. Once again, watch his hips when he delivers. Stay on. Base, 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 base. And the finish right there. There it is. So there's our in space, finish, hips. Now accelerate the feet, cut the grass. Stick and stay with that finish. It has been my pleasure today to go over our 4 phases of our hip progression that we teach here at the University of Nevada. I know this will provide much for your offensive linemen in keeping a physical nature, and it is a great tie-in to the pistol offense. Thank you.